Hi, everybody. Hi, Priyanka. Welcome to
Hello.
the OYF Show, the show where we have real people, real stories, real experiences, and real insights. And not to forget the takeaways for people to take action on. So, Priyanka, today we're going to talk about a few very interesting things before we get started with the show. Uh, some questions that you raised as part of what we were talking about. Uh, do I have your permission to start?
Yes, please. Yes,
Okay,
please.
wonderful. Well, as we said, I think the first important part that we said is, well, what is the tenure of employees in organizations and does it change with age? Well, interesting, important question. The important part there is that, well, the reality is based on some studies that have been conducted, 25 to 35 years of people, age group of employees, they have a tenure of about 3 to 3.5 years. Well, as you mature, it jumps to 8 to 10 years. So the older you get, the more sensibility comes into play, and you start saying, well, I think I need to stick along and I need to probably spending more time in the organization that I have. And this is going to be a very interesting topic as we're going to be talking about today. So I thought it's going to be interesting for us to bring this out. Isn't it, Priyanka?
Oh, yes. I think it kind of maps my own personal journey as well. So maybe when you're younger, the reason for change, and that's what you get asked in your interviews, and the reason for change is you don't know why. Like, it could be money, which you don't want to say in an interviews because it might sound frivolous, but who doesn't like more of it than not? But then there is, of course, the issue with culture, and something that I want to recall and say that we don't change jobs, we change bosses. So I do wish that all of us have good bosses and that
Good
maybe
point.
these will be
Good point.
different figures.
Interesting, interesting. And the next question, taking into the educational realm of things. Interestingly, engineering dropouts has been dropping over the last few years. This is something I read in various reports the other time. And again, an important topic which we'll touch upon in some of the conversations we're going to have today. And in light of this, there's some very interesting facts that I discovered, and I thought it's worthwhile to share here too. Interestingly, between 2014 to 19, 7,000 IIT students they dropped out for various reasons. That was a startling fact. And this actually is something that was debated in the Lok Sabha also as to what's happening, why it's happening, and what are the various details about it. More interestingly, as people moved on, it very clearly became that one, startups definitely started affecting people looking for either moving out of engineering colleges or sticking onto them as they realized that there were opportunities coming for engineering students. Interestingly, close to 180 colleges also closed down between 17 to 20. Now, awareness has increased, overall opportunities have increased, and people have started realizing there are other careers beyond engineering. So just we need to stay with this thought as we get into today's conversation. And your views on this, Priyanka?
So what I want to talk about is the fact that it's something even more basic, and I'm not going to talk about engineering or medical, or I think I'm going to put it as basic as the fact that you need to put some economic skill to use so that you can monetize. And to put that even more brute simply, you need, we as city people, either if I was a farmer's daughter and I knew anything to do with farming, I could have tilled the land and got some food going. But because I'm not, and I was born in a city, the best bet for you to be able to feed yourself really is to be able to use your head, uh, quote unquote, for lack of a better word, sell that skill and be able to make some money so that you can feed yourself and your family. So it's that basic. Now, what do you do to? So we are like, in a sense, extremely hostage to the fact that to education. Now it's just your luck if you got a good one, a good teacher, a good college, a good name, a good job, so on and so forth. But we all know this is a journey, and then somewhere we've like forgotten that the skill was the core, and that there is a future that we want to shape for ourselves with that skill and not the other way around. So yeah, it would be nice to hear the guest and the experiences that he might have. So let's begin that piece as well, Rajiv.
Yeah,
Let's introduce our
definitely.
work.
And before that, let's talk about a small little video which talks about real stories, real people before we begin the show. Here it goes.
Good evening. And today at the show, we are hosting Dr. Pramod Kumar Rajput. I'll take a few minutes and introduce his work. Good evening, Mr. Rajput, to you.
Good evening, madam. Good evening,
Namaste.
Rajiv sir.
Good evening, Dr. Rajput. So nice to have you.
My
I
pleasure,
will
my honor. Yeah, please, sorry.
I will introduce his work as well. And this is a long story that I would want to do justice to. Dr. Pramod Kumar Rajput is a seasoned professional, and he has stayed 39 years with the same organization, from where he started as a medical representative and currently is senior vice president and a vertical head at Cadila Pharma. He is a humanitarian. He started his journey, like I said, with as a medical representative, which was post him having chosen to opt out of his education stream at that time. That said, he has gone ahead and completed 24 certifications from international universities. So, from somebody who chose to opt out at a certain stage for reasons that we'll get to know during the conversation, he went ahead and pursued the learning and the path of learning at various occasions with various formats, with various universities. I can only start to imagine the kind of depth of knowledge this profile and this gentleman would be carrying for himself. We are only grateful that people make so much of an effort for themselves and then are willing to share. So, thank you so much for this. He also completed Train the Trainer Level 3 and an advanced level for Level 3. He has completed a diploma in neuro-linguistic programming from the American Board. He is also called the Rajput at Cadila. He's launched so many brands there. The entire Cadila has been recognized and awarded as Champions of Chairperson for the year 2019 and 2020. He's been given many international awards. He is a keynote speaker at various occasions. And I want to read out some of the international awards that have come his way. One of the Global Mental Health Leaders by World Congress of Mental Health, Healthcare Warriors by World Leadership Congress and Award, International Ambassador for Peace by World Literary Forum, and for Peace and Human Rights, Global Happiness Olympian awarded by the World Health Organization. In June 2021, he has been taken up as honorary board member of Sustainable Development Goals at 2030. You can find those details on the internet. There would be a link shared later. In June 21, he has also been awarded the Iconic Personality of the Year 2021 by BTC India Enterprise. He's been awarded Man of Excellence Award for the year 2020, Business Leadership 2021 by the Indian Achievers Forum for his outstanding professional achievement and contribution to nation building. He has been chosen as a voice leader by Voice of Healthcare Group 2020 and also Philanthropy Award for 2021 Leader for his significant contribution in leadership by Sakshat and Root Skilling Group. The list of achievements is only so long that I can do justice to some of it, but it'd be nice to hear the journey. Mr. Rajput, my first question to you would be from your childhood, and would you like to share some of the first early childhood experiences so we know how we all start extremely unknown? So, what would those be, sir?
Thank you so much. And very warm good evening to Rajiv sir, Priyanka ma'am once again, and all the beautiful souls who are listening our this beautiful talk of OYF, one of the finest opportunity to come on this beautiful platform. And the people who are going to see afterwards again the OIF is what is the basic thing is your future, which is such an important thing. When you talk about this, you are able to see that what you are going to do about your future and how you are going to build about future. What a beautiful calibration of this thing is there. So your question, first question means first question is like a nostalgic to me, right? So I was telling you that during my school days, I was a very like a normal person, and I'm not very brilliant, but at the same time, I was not getting a lower marks. I was almost like 60 to 70%, in that way. Now the parents they want 90 95%. I'm not that category, right there. So I did my high school, then I did my intermediate, and and a traditional parents, they like to make me either a doctor or an engineer. Traditional parents. Now the things are getting changed, and we must change ourselves. So I was also in the same rat race that yes, I have to become something because I have to make my parents proud, right? So in that rat race, I was learning and I did my graduation and I was selected in an engineering college. So because I was basically from the mathematics side, so of course I got the clearance and I was selected. I went there for 45 days, 45 days only. Right. I didn't like it because that was not my choice. That was the thing which has been pushed. So I came back from the engineering college. I said, no, no, nothing doing. I will not be. And in the between, I have given the interview of the medical representative. So I was selected in that. And for that also, I did the preparation. They said that a person who can speak good and who can have good in the group discussion, GD and all, because at that time, that era was there. I'm talking about 1982. So I used to read at that time India Today and all because to sharpen my knowledge and all. So I was selected. So when I came back to home, I told my parents that I've been selected as a medical rep. So they both were so angry. My God, what the hell? What you are doing? It? You are leaving as engineering, right? We are so happy because more than the child, the parents were on the seventh sky, right? That their son or their daughter is going to become an engineer or a doctor because at that time two were the main specialty. They were the most elite specialty was there. So I said no, 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 I didn't like it, and that is the reason I don't want to go. So 2 days they have not spoken to me. I still remember. 2 days they have not spoken to me. Huh? Of course they have given me food and all. Mummy was very very clear.
Mummy was mummy.
Mummy was mummy, but she was also having this concept. Then somehow she spoke to my father. He said, "I don't know whether he doesn't want to have. So let him choose his whatever the thing which you want to choose." So after 2 days they said, "Okay, fine." Then they said, "Okay." So then I started my journey. And after I was not having vehicle, my father was having the scooter, right? So then they saw that I was going on foot. So then my neighbors, they started putting stone on me, that what type of work you are doing it, yeah, you left engineering college, so it means you are not able to cope up at all. So I was listening from this year, and this year I was taking out, and no problem, nothing like that. then after 2 months of time, my father was feeling that this guy is going, sometimes he takes rickshaw and all, he has given his scooter. Right. I said, no, Papa, because we have to go to the office. He was an admin officer. So you don't do this. I will be ensuring it. But somehow we both have managed ourselves. And I said, okay. So the thing was very clear in my mind when I've chosen this profession. I was not aware anything on biology, anatomy, physiology, because I was basically a mathematics student. Then I thought that how to learn. Right. At that time, the training was very less and all. So I said, let me talk to my customers only. Customers only. So who are my customers? The doctors are my customer. So Rajiv sir will agree with me because he has also seen that particular journey. So they were my customer. I used to go to them. I said, sir, this is my product, but I don't know. So can you explain to me at what time shall I come? So they used to give after clinic time 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock. So I used to skip my lunch, right? So I used to sit there whenever they are going to close their clinic or finish their clinic. Then I was waiting outside. I would go with the literatures, pen, pencil, and all everything. I used to write. For 1 hour, they used to give me. So every day, some new doctors I was used to. So in that day, 12 doctors were in my fold. The 12 top doctors. So they have become my guru, they have become my teacher, and in the bargain, they started prescribing my product left, right, and center because they want to see me excelling, right? So I said, well, wow, what is the beautiful way of learning and all. So then in just the 6 months of time, I became the star. So Rajiv sir is aware about it that in every company, in every pharma industry, there is a star felicitation is there and all. So 6 months we became a star, and in 1 year of time, I've been invited to Ahmedabad for a star journey. Right, I was just 18 years 4 months when I joined this engineering college. In 1 year of time, 19 year or 4 months or 6 months maybe, I became the star. And at that time, 1983, a person young, very young, doesn't know anything about it, been called by ear to the head office, being treated like a royal king, right, like all other seniors. So I said, wow, yeah, this is such a wonderful profession. I let me make my journey. Then I started talking to the people who are in the senior position, that how they have built their position, how they have built themselves, what are the good qualities are there. So I said, let me imbibe that qualities, right? And sales is because we are a commercial house, so sales was the one thing. Then building other things, I started building the things, and that I started learning lot, so that I should be number one in the detailing, number one in the product knowledge and all. So that was the thing which was a turnaround with me, and that's what the journey started. So since I was the only child of my parents, so when they saw me growing, they started feeling proud on me. I said, don't worry about it. I'll make you feel proud on me. I'll ensure that I will be able to grow in my career. And believe you me, I started contributing, and I also started getting very positive response from the organization, and my career growth has started. So within 4.5 years, 5 years of time, I became an area manager, and my all the team members, they were double of my age, because at the age of 23 I became area manager, and the senior people were all 40, 45. Their children were 17 years, 18 years of age. So I was thinking how to handle them, right? So
Yeah.
then I said, yeah. So because they used to treat me like a bacha. So I said, no
Yeah.
problem, nothing. You treat me like a bacha, I will be bacha only. But let us do the work which is very
Yeah.
important. So
Yeah.
then, how I have managed that thing, I was very disciplined. So suppose I have to be there on time. So I was always 10 minutes before. If anything has to be prepared, I was the first person to prepare. I used to help them, support them. Then gradually they started feeling that this guy is not for pulling the part, this guy is there to help. And we became so close in terms of
Yeah.
professional relationship. And there also I started growing. So there I learned one of the very big things. If you have to grow in your life, you have to build your team in a positive manner, and with some of the attributes you have to add, so that people should start respecting you, because respect is never ever commanded. Respected is never ever demanded, it's always commanded. So you command the respect by doing positive things, good things, and all. So that is the way the journey started. Then one day, what happened then when I became regional manager in charge of UP? So I'm basically a UPI, right? So from Gorakhpur, right? So then I said, sir, I want to grow. I spoke to my vice president, sir. I further want to grow, because you tell me what is the next destination. He said, there is a place is there, vacancy is there in Bangalore. Would you like to go to Bangalore? I said, yes. So he said, are you crazy? I said, yes, I am crazy. So why you are crazy? Because sir, I want to come to your position. So he said, you want to take my position? He said, no, sir, I don't want to take a position. I want that you should become president, and so I should be coming there, so that I can also start learning from you. So he was amazed. He was very happy. And believe you me, in 48 hours of time, there was a vacancy in Bangalore covering entire South, right? So they have given me that position, and I came back to home. I said, I got my promotion and also let us go to Bangalore. At that time, I was married. When I was a medical rep in the year 1987, I got married. And my children were also there. I had two children at that time. So my wife said, okay, fine. She is one of the biggest supporter for me. Biggest means biggest. So she said, nothing doing. I will be along with you. Let us go to Bangalore, because we want to make the career. Let us make the career. So within 1 week of time, we reached Bangalore. We are not aware about the language. We are not aware about the food habits. We are not aware about it. But we landed there, and then the journey started. So the journey was always something, you can say, it was not on the hurdles. It was not on the challenges. It was all filled with the opportunities. I never saw the challenges. I always saw the opportunities. So that is the thing which I will say, that whenever something comes to you, it comes with a bundle of the opportunities. It depends upon you whether you are able to feel that or you are able to leave it. So I always felt that opportunity, and I always gained the opportunity. In between, let me
Very
tell you some,
interesting. Very interesting.
yeah.
Yeah.
And one
Sorry.
beautiful story, sir, I like to add
Yeah.
here.
Please,
In
please.
1987, right, when I got married, within 1 month of, I was a person who used to drive very fast means motorcycle. So after 1 month of my marriage, I met with an accident. So you can see I have 32 stitches here. It was this, see, and my nose is tilted all. So I was on the table there, the operation table, and profusely I was bleeding. Right. So doctor was telling, I was semi cautious only. Doctor was telling he's bleeding. I think it's a brain hemorrhage. He will not be able to revive him. So I was listening very clearly. I said nothing there. Then doctor said that let us put one injection. It was my company's competitor. So I said, no, no, doctor, I want my company brand only. He was astonished, believe you me. And that doctor never used to write my product. From that day onwards, he became the one of the prolific prescriber for my brand. So that was the attachment which was there for the organization, love for the organization. All these things were had. So this is the way the journey started. And from last 20 years, I'm in Ahmedabad at the corporate level, grown the ladder. So this is all about it. And I always say people, they grow by changing the ladders. By changing the ladders, I had grown with the same organization by stepping up on the ladders.
Very interesting. I think you bring out some very interesting things. And if you really look at it, the journey of starting unknown and moving up the ladder as you described it is a very fascinating experience. It's a very fascinating one, and especially if you was listening into what I've spoke about in the initial part of the conversation, where we said that the average tenure of people in organizations is highest is about 10 years. The second thing is that engineering dropouts is a reality, and which is the
Yeah.
reason we brought out these two questions, because we have you coming with some specific background to your experiences around it. And true to our commitment to real stories and real facts, we have to bring out things which are very much related with what our guests bring to the table here. Now, in your case, you come back with a story which talks about 39 strong years in the same organization. You talk about probably 4 to 5 phases of career progression, because there is starters at executive level. Then you get into in the sales environment, what you typically have as area managers is probably not even middle management, but that's probably senior executive level. Then you have middle management, then you have senior management. So I call it 4 clear distinct stages of career, right? I'm very curious to know that, having started unknown, if you were to look at these 4 phases of your own progression, your own journey, which one of these 4 was the most enriching one for you personally? Enriching from the sense that contributed most to you as an individual, and you were able to give back the maximum. Which out of these 4 phases was the one? And if there are some experiences around that you want to share.
Okay. The first experience was when I became a star. I never knew what is the star journey is there. I told you, 19 years, 4 months or 6 months maybe. And when I received a ticket at my home, it was a ticket, Air India ticket used to come, right? And the telegram used to come. There was an era of telegram, right? So then you have to attend the office on this particular date, sending your air ticket soon, right? That was the thing which is what had happened. Then I spoke to my boss, my senior. He said, "You have been felicitated. You have been invited for the felicitation." So I was very happy. When I came to Ahmedabad, the way the treatment had happened, staying at the three-star hotel, at that time there was no five-star hotel, right? So three-star hotel, and people are coming, talking to you, sir, sir, and all they're talking, my God, and the way they are welcoming you, and they're telling that you are shaking the hand with the owner of the organization, right? Calling me, you have been called at the stage to have some few words, how you are feeling and all. That has injected lot many positiveness in me. I said, wow, this is the trigger point. Then I said, now my journey is not going to end. I have tasted the fruit of success, right? Let me start growing it, right? Let me start spreading it. So this was the one thing. Second was exactly after 4 years of time, because my area, I was in charge for Gorakhpur, Basti, Devariya, all these places. So where organization has grown, and every year they started adding on people, but that was the same. So within 4.5 years of time, they said there is a position is there at Agra as an area business manager. So you have to take care for 5 people, and if you are willing to go, we will promote you. That's fine. But they also said, remember, that is a very dangerous position. Why? Because there is a back history is there that one person who joins their area manager, either he get promoted or either he is being taken out from the organization. So the history was the other person who was there, producer, he has been promoted as regional manager. So they said that now it is your turn, you'll be shunted out. But no problem, I will take this challenge, right? But people have to work only, na, and they have to make the people work. That is the only thing. There is nothing new. There is no rocket science in that. So I took that challenge. I took the challenge and we went there. First year it was lot of hurdles, but we said, okay, fine. Just smile. We have taken out the hurdles. We have taken the challenges and all, and then ignited the strength, because that was a completely humanistic area, right? So every time this, that, the things were happening. But after 1 year of time, people started feeling that. And believe you me, in just 3 years of time, this team will become the superstar team. And that is the reason that I felt, my God, if we build the people, they will build you. And 3 years of time, I got the promotion. So the second, you can say the mantra was, if you want to grow, start building your team, because they will push you to grow. So these are the two beautiful instances. And then the journey started coming. And then on every step of the life, when I came to head office also, I started as a deputy general manager. deputy general manager, vice president, executive vice president, senior vice president, and vertical head. So the 13 ladders, you can say the 13 steps I have taken in the same organization, same way. Building the people to grow, taking my position so that I can come up.
Okay, one related question out of curiosity. Sorry, Priyanka, just one.
Yeah.
Is that how does it look like from the top when you now look down?
So from
I want a
now,
very honest answer. When
no,
you
now,
you're now 14 ladders up, right? You're sitting
yeah.
there now, and now when you look down, do you find a Pramod Rajput of 1987 there, or you
I
don't?
yeah, I find a person which is very naughty. I still find that.
Okay,
I find a person who is very jolly, right? And he keeps on talking with the people. I find that person who is all very humorous, filled with humility, right? Humanity, taking care for the people. That I still see there, and it's still and a child. Because if you are a child, you have the agility to start learning the thing always. So I also find the same resolution. I feel like listening the music. I feel like dancing. So all these things are there. I don't leave my good habits, which is there, which always give me a rejuvenation that yes, I am still a child, and a child is always a learner because child doesn't keep anything in his mind. That is the beauty of it. So I love that. I love that. And believe you me, we have a group of high school group of 52 people. Five people, they are nowhere in the world now. We lost them, but still once in a year or twice in a or once in 2 years, we all meet and still we keep on talking to each other. So that is the beautiness of the 10th class standard. That thing is there. Why 10th class? Because till the time you are in the 10th standard, there's no ego is there. You belong to which family, how you are coming in which way, nobody speaks about it. You all are good friends only. But as soon as you grow up in the life, there's so many things started coming up. So I have a beautiful relationship with my people who started from a very lower level, who belongs to a very lower level, and up to the Medanta cardiologist Verma, Dr. Verma. He's a director of cardiology department, right? So up to that level, we have a one beautiful coordination and association.
great. Over to you,
You know
Priyanka.
what I hear is, I hear a story which we were learning on your feet. So it's not like there was a book that was handed over to you. You took responsibility for your actions, and you went ahead, did what needed to be done. And in the process, you have also tried to, if it's required to study, then study. If it requires you to smile, then smile. If it requires you to teach yourself to be a child, then write that little note to yourself saying, yeah, I like this, like this is what I want to be. And God bless you've had the space to be able to do that. So what I'm hearing is that I'm hearing a story about somebody who's continuously thinking, and I'm hearing a story about somebody who's taking responsibility for where they are and trying to find ways to how to do things better. And those are my notes. I'm going to take those notes with me, and I'm going to keep that in my diary. But what I'm also going to keep in my diary is that, okay, what do I tell myself every morning? But my
Okay,
question to you,
before to
tell
it, I
me.
want to add one more thing. My wife, she is one of the biggest strength for me, right? Let me tell you, because if I have traveled the journey, because she was there with me. If she would not have been there, because family plays a very, very vital role. Let me tell you. And the person I've seen, the people who have grown, who are about the career, their spouse, either way, they makes a lot of heaven of a difference. And today, whatever I am, I give the complete credit to her because if she would have not taken care for my children's, our children's, or my parents, because I was on tour 15 days, 20 days on tour, taking care for all the responsibilities, taking from the bank to the hospital and all, though on the phone call, everything was available, right? But she is one of the biggest pillars. So wherever I speak about the thing, I always give the gratitude and the things to her. And today, whatever I am, she always a person who keeps on encouraging me. She never ever discouraged me. If I have to go on tour, she said, "Okay, fine, you are going for the organization." And I've also learned this thing from my mother also when I was a young kid, because she always used to say, "Never ever compromise with your duty. Whatever the duty which you are doing it, right? Mother and father, they said, do it fully, and then after that you enjoy it." So these are the two things are there which should be added, which is there in the mind, and that is the reason I always respect it. It's very, very important.
So, they also say that it takes a village to grow up a child, but it definitely takes a village to grow up a career. So nobody came to this world. So I think so I'm going to give you my example of what it takes. So when you were at office and you came back home tired, you didn't fetch your food. You possibly got warm food on most days, hopefully, assuming that that might have been more on most days. And somebody woke up earlier than you so that you get a breakfast, and that when you came back home, somebody had planned a meal which was healthy, and there were lesser issues, that were there was more good time and good food that came to the table, and not ki plumber nahi aaya, ghar kharab hai, I don't understand the language, the maids, it's not working, this it's getting more difficult than and it's so. Let me put those words of what possibly were your wife's thoughts, and put those on the table for all of us to acknowledge, and of course those who listen to us later, that it does take more than one person to grow a child, and it does take more a whole village to grow a career. So I want to ask you that when you now meet people, or maybe children is the right word in your case, when you now meet young generation, especially somebody who's opting out of his work and has resigned, and we want to understand stability and how stability is important, what do you tell them? Like, I feel that people will quit, but people will cannot quit also. So it's not like somebody's quitting for a reason. Sometimes you're just quitting because bus ho gaya. What do you tell them? What do you tell a person in an exit interview if you want him to go, because sometimes you really can't deal with it, and if you don't want them to go? So both the questions for you.
Okay, so I'll reply about the person where I don't want to him to go, right? So we write on a piece of paper, right? What are the positive things which organization is giving to you, right? What is the atmosphere which we are giving to you? If somebody is want to quit, then what he's thinking, what he's going to get there. So like, let us weigh both the things together, right? If he's able to get the respect, and also whatever the thing which is planning to get, the things that is support system, encouragement, happiness and all, whether the person when he's going to some other place is going to get or not. So then when we discuss, and believe you me, my attrition level is just 13%, where the industry attrition level is 28%. And that why the 13% is there, where somebody has been taken by some other organization with double the salary. So salary I cannot double it, right? I can have the retention program with 30%, 40%, 35% maximum high, not more than that. So then I said, okay, fine. Still you feel that you are directly linked with such a senior person and all. Still you feel that you have to have a thought. You please think over it, and then you come back to me. So that is the way I deal in both the ways. But I always ensure that a small thing should be celebrated. We celebrate the smallest thing of our team, because the joyfulness and happiness is very important, because they feel that belongingness is very important. And today I have seen that in the professional life, in the materialistic world, this thing is missing. If you start doing it, people will become your fan, the way we used to become the fan. And that I have learned. Treat them as your own family member. Respect them. First, you respect yourself, respect them, and you will find that they will do anything and everything for you. Be respectful.
Ajit?
Yeah, interesting. And I think I can very much relate with the points that you talk about and the journey that you describe. If I was to sort of summarize this as specific takeaways for people who would like to take action, because at the end of the day, if you have to own your future, you have to take action, right? And to take action, you need to have something which is focused, and I call it razor sharp focus, for people to be able to practice and say, if I do these three things, I'm getting closer to being able to own my future, right? What I have taken away are two very interesting dimensions, what you said. And then I'll request you, Pramodji, to sort of share what you think are specific takeaways. One, on the family side of it, I think keeping a very well balanced, conducive environment is extremely important. Like after what you've said today, you're going to get a very good meal today. I promise you that.
No, she is not here. She has gone to my some other place. So I am alone.
Oh,
Only
So
my
तो
son
आज
is
so
doing
खाना
the.
नहीं बनेगा.
so आज तो फिर खाना बिल्कुल नहीं बनेगा. So that's on the lighter side of it. But anyways, so you've ensured that. So that's well done. But having said that, I think that's but what you raised was a very serious and an important matter of making sure that that balance and that support system is key to success. And I think
Correct.
that's very well said. The second thing that you talked about was the fact that being able to express gratitude and celebration, and I use both in the same breath. Gratitude for the time and effort that people give to you and to the business, right? Recognizing that they exist not because of a job, but recognizing they exist as human beings is, I think, so the fundamental which many organizations, many managers don't really do. And second is celebrating. Celebrating allows a feeling of togetherness, a feeling of oneness, which probably allows what has to be done. So I think those are two very important pieces which are important for probably organizations, managers, people, and the leader that you've become. What I
I
want
want
you
to
to
add. I'm sorry,
please.
but I want to add so I'm going to take celebration. I'm going to take gratitude. I'm going to take family. So that's three words that are important, and I'm going to add the word respect to that. But what I'm also going to force us to remember is respect yourself, and then it will flow to those around you. So
Well
I
said.
think behaving like a child and being able to, maybe uh, taken more from younger generation, which you were not expecting, are traits that are difficult to imbibe. But I see with 13% attrition rate in your team, that must have been done very beautifully.
Yeah,
So
I really appreciate that's very well said, Priyanka, and I think it's very true. I think that's so important to be what people today call as being vulnerable, being open to your being yourself and saying I'm
I
there for
did,
you the way I am, and
yeah.
and
Right.
that's what allows people to see you as being approachable, see you as being a person who's one of them,
Yeah.
and therefore the comfort level increases. So
Correct.
I can completely relate with it, and I completely understand. And thanks
And
for
you know
adding
what,
that, Priyanka.
I feel it's very doable. Like, I'm not trying to be somebody else. If I am who I am, then I'm not trying to like either put a mask or try to think before I act. If I'm somebody who just breaks down crying very often, then I am that person. And over time you just try to make peace with that. So last takeaways, any thoughts that we should not miss from this beautiful journey?
Last, you start loving the people, right? Loving means you start, when I say respecting, because everybody is having some good qualities, right? God has not made all the five fingers one. Same way, every people having some different strength. This is the job of a leader or responsibility of a leader to take the right thing from the right person. We have the very young generation which are like equivalent to my children's, right? They come, I start learning from them. I said, okay, I want to learn from you. They feel so happy, believe you me. I want to learn technology. I've learned technology from them. So they say, oh my god, sir has called me, I'm going to teach. So see, this is the thing, there's no barrier is there. And if suppose 2 days there is a closeness of office, sir, already 2 days are over, we want to meet, let us meet, sir. It is a long time we have not spoken. So this is the way, because I have seen when people say, "Oh my God, again I have to go office." Here it's there. Oh, let's go to the office. Yeah, that is the difference. That is the
Well
difference has
said.
been created.
काम तो हो ही जाएगा. If it's a certain amount of respect and affection that comes along, nobody's complaining. God bless.
And I also tell them, never ever bring office job back to your home. Your home is home. Your office is office. Be so competent, right, to finish your work in the office time. That is the right way of being a good leader in your coming time. Because if you will inculcate this beautiful habit, you will ensure you will respect the time, because time will not going to come back. So the self
Yeah.
management and time management is very very important for any person, every person.
Absolutely. I think well said. I just want to sort of take this opportunity to sort of thank you, Pramodji, for this fabulous conversation, for your heartfelt sharing, your honesty, your being you that you are, and of what I know you. It's no surprise, to be honest with you. So thanks a lot. And I'm sure people who are going to watch this, people who are going to pick up your experiences, uh, will take away a lot of things for themselves as long as they're committing themselves to own their future. I think the beginning of their own journey can start only if they commit to themselves. So I would
सर एक
encourage
चीज ऐड
people
करूंगा,
to learn about it. Please.
एक चीज ऐड करूंगा, दैट फोर, लाइक हम ताश, मैं ताश तो नहीं खेलता, बट देयर आर फोर एक्काज आर देयर, ए हैं, राइट? दैट व्हाट आर द फोर एज फॉर ओन योर फ्यूचर? वन इज योर एटीट्यूड, इट हैज टू बी पॉजिटिव एटीट्यूड, देन योर एट्रीब्यूट्स, then your aptitude, and the last is altitude. So from attitude to altitude, there are two things are there, attributes and aptitude is very important. So any person who really wants to own their future, they should work on these four things. Believe you me, it will happen. That's all I can say about it.
Wonderful. I think that's a
I'm glad I
brilliant
was
way to close it.
I'm so glad I was a part of this conversation. But it's been really a pleasure to listen to your journey and to take away those little notes. I'm hoping that others will benefit from it. But it's been a beautiful conversation.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Thank you. And wish you all
Thank
the
you.
best for further more success, further more journeys, and an amazing life ahead.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Thank you, Priyanka ji. Thank you, Rajiv sir.
Thank you. Good day to you.